104.5 The Team, your New York NFL preview, Week 3. Andrew Williams, Tom Gozlowski, we're ready to go. Last week, 2-1.
1-2.
You know, I picked the Buffalo Bills, crushed me last week, and we'll get down to their game next week coming up against Miami. We're going to start off with Thursday night's game, the New York Giants versus the Washington Redskins. Giants are 0-2 right now. Redskins are 1-1. What are you watching for tonight with the G-Men?
I'm watching to see for the Giants if Odell Beckham Jr., Ruben Randall, that wide receiving core can have a huge game, because the news going into this matchup was Preston Parker getting cut. Some were nicknaming him Butterfinger Parker, and he dropped 5 passes in 2 games. And now it's been said, if you're not going to produce for the New York Giants, Tom Coughlin and management, they're going to get rid of you. So can someone step up in that wide receiving core and make some plays? The Redskins so far this season really have been tested with that deep ball. Their offense is controlled time of possession. Beckham and Randall are the 2 guys to watch out for.
And I think the biggest thing I'm watching out for is that offensive line.
Yeah.
They're banged up bad. Jeff Schwartz was sick all week. He was out with the arm in the back, as he always is on Tuesday. Eric Flowers out. Oh, no. I almost sneezed. I'll edit that. Almost sneezed right there. Eric Flowers out at the left tackle.
Did Schwartz get you sick?
I think Schwartz definitely got me sick. I feel like a sneeze coming out is not good. And they need to be able to run the ball, because if they're not protecting Eli, that's shown right now. Last week they had a good first half. Second half, guys injured, guys going out, shifting positions. It wasn't working out. They need to be consistent and going this week. And if those guys can't get it going, Eli's going to be on his back majority of the game.
And just passing-wise, also running the ball-wise, Rashawn Jennings, if you've drafted him on your fantasy football team, you're ready to jump off the cliff already. What's going on up there? So it's a combination of both protecting Eli Manning and also getting, whether it be Rashawn Jennings, Andre Williams, someone in that backfield to contribute and move that offense for the G-Men.
All right, so what do you look? What's the key to victory for the Giants going into this game?
I think the key for the Giants is somehow get those stops on 3rd down against the Redskins. The Redskins have been fantastic on 3rd down this season.
Yeah.
They've had that 2-headed monster in the backfield with the rookie Matt Jones, Alfred Morris, Kirk Cousins, not trying to do too much, but they're great on 3rd downs. Giants stopped it on 3rd downs. That's going to be the key in this one.
I think it's Odell Beckham Jr., the best player out on the field, normally every single game. Last week, 6 catches, 139 yards. He only had 1 catch, though, in the second half.
Wow.
He was gone in the second half. They need to keep him going consistently. He's a playmaker. You saw, they did a simple 12-yard pass to him, and he took it all over the end. He's gone. They need to make sure they consistently get him the ball. And this secondary with his Skins, they're not great.
No.
It's not a great secondary, but if you can get him going, it's going to be a lot of quick passes. As I already said, we know that offensive line is not looking good right now. They're very banged up. If you get Odell Beckham Jr. going, I think they have a good chance to win. But what's your prediction?
I'm going to go with 20-17. The Redskins take down the Giants tonight. Everything is going in the right direction for Washington. If a matchup that the Giants haven't seen before in Matt Jones, it's a short week for the Giants. You touched on the offensive line. Kirk Cousins. I like the Redskins. They've only beaten the Giants 4 of the last 18 times these teams have squared off. This is lining up for a Redskin win tonight to push their record to 2-1.
And you know what? I agree. I think the Giants come out tonight 0-3. I have the Redskins winning 24-14. I just don't think. I think the Giants are too banged up. Rodgers Cromartie out on the defensive side, which we didn't even touch on. That secondary is banged up now. I got the Skins coming out. But all right, let's go to a team in New York that plays at MetLife. That is 2-0.
Yeah.
The New York Jets play the Eagles. Got the Philadelphia Eagles, so hopefully for the Giants' sake, both of these teams start out 0-3. What are you looking for with the Philadelphia Eagles-Jets game?
It's amazing right now what the Jets have been able to do. Taking off the Colts on Monday Night Football, a lot of people didn't see that upset possibly happening. I did have it.
We both had it.
But the Jets going forward, I look to still Ryan Fitzpatrick. I know the news is that, okay, when will Geno Smith eventually come back and maybe compete and try to win back his job? But if Fitzpatrick gets this team to 5-6 wins by October, I don't know how Todd Bowles can take him out of the lineup. So if Fitz can play well against that Philadelphia Eagle defense, maybe a 220, 240-yard game, limit his turnovers, that's the key for the Jets to continue the consistency.
And it's funny. I have that same exact thing right here. It's Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's throwing 75%. He's completing 75% of his balls right now. He's playing great. All right, I'll take it. He's not playing great. He's doing what he's supposed to do.
He's playing like a Harvard guy. He's not being flashy. He's just getting the job done.
And I like it. I think if he can do that Alex Smith role going forward, and Chris Ivory and Bilal Powell can run the ball like they have, I like Ryan Fitzpatrick. I like what he's doing. but that's definitely what we're watching for. Because we know he has that tendency. He has 1 or 2 good games, and then, he falls.
Right.
That's what normally happens. But what's the key to victory for you?
Boy, try to contain DeMarco Murray, and for some reason that's been easy the first 2 weeks for the Philadelphia Eagles. DeMarco Murray hasn't done anything, but eventually there's going to be that game, and I know he's been banged up this week. But Murray's got to have now the expectations that people in Philly, those tough fans, are saying, why do we go out and spend money to get this guy who hasn't been able to produce yet? The New York Jets defensive line has been fantastic. They have a lot of talent up front, but DeMarco Murray's going to find that game at some point, whether it be September or October, where he goes off and shows why he was the NFL's leading rusher last year. Don't all of a sudden underestimate what Murray can do. The Jets still slow him down and force Sam Bradford into some tough throws against their secondary. They'll be just fine.
Then, like you said, the New York Jets defense has been unbelievable. Turnovers after turnovers, and to win this game, they have to continue that. I know that they can't be going 5 a game. That's not realistic. It's just not. But they need to get a couple interceptions from Sam Bradford, maybe a fumble or 2 from a running back. They need to make sure the Eagles don't think they have a chance. Because I think this Eagles team is mentally weak, and I know that's hard to say for athletes, calling them out where they're mental. But you look at a Sam Bradford who looks like he's mentally like a little afraid in the pocket.
Once you start learning the offense.
Exactly. But you can't blame that. 2 ACL tears.
Right.
DeMarco Murray, 9 rushing yards. Is that right? Last game?
It might be 9.
9 rushing yards.
Me and you aren't too far away from his stats.
13 total of the season or something ridiculous like that. Don't let these guys think they have a chance. Don't let them get something back that they've been missing. Keep it going. Punch them in the mouth right at the get-go. That's the key to victory for me. But who do you think wins the game?
I think it's a shootout. 30-27. The Jets kick a field goal late. I think Philadelphia starts to roar back. The Jets will have a lead, play a little bit too conservative, try to run out the clock. Eagles make a late run in the 4th quarter. Jets kick a field goal at the end, 30-27.
Wow, you are giving the Eagles a lot of credit. Fly, Eagles, fly. Well, I have the Jets winning 28-10. I don't think this Eagles team is. They're just not there yet. It's a lot of new guys, a lot of new pieces. This Jets team has the mentality right now, a winning mentality going forward. You have a lot of veteran guys that they talked about during the Monday Night Football. You have Brandon Marshall, you have Ryan Fitzpatrick. On the defense side, you got veterans everywhere. I got 28-10, the Jets going on. In the late game, Sunday, Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins, division game. Saw what happened to the Bills last week, but what are you watching for this week?
I look at the Buffalo Bills, and it's almost an emotional game for them because you have such a high, and it's more so college than pro, but when you go against the New England Patriots and your crowd wants to break the crowd noise record, you have Brady and Belichick coming down. It's one of the biggest games in Buffalo, arguably the last 15 years, with the new GM, new coach, new owner, everything around it, and you don't get the job done. And is it almost a letdown going to the Dolphins and thinking, well, our big game was last week, while Miami's trying to bounce back and continue their push. A lot of people thought the Miami Dolphins could be a 9-7, 10-16 preseason and get there. Let's see emotionally that first quarter how Buffalo comes out against the Dolphins.
And I agree. That's exactly it. I think you got to look at Tyrod Taylor. You got to see how he comes out. Last week, it didn't seem like they had the right game plan for him. And obviously, we're not NFL coaches. Who am I to say that the game plan was right or wrong? But Tyrod Taylor looked like he was doing too much. Like they wanted him being like a Tom Brady. Too much. He wasn't flowing enough. He wasn't managing enough. And like I said, they were way too hyped up, powered up. Kyle Williams, their defensive tackle, said it last week. He said it was ridiculous. It was stupid how they came out.
A lot of penalties, a lot of personal fouls in that first quarter.
134 yards of penalties. You can't do that, especially against a division team. That's what I'm watching for. What's the biggest key to victory for you?
I think the key in victory in this game is that can the Miami Dolphins figure something out on offense? It's almost, it's weird because you get fantasy football going and you think, okay, they're going to have a lot of skill guys like running backs and wide receivers to make plays. Can a guy like Mike Wallace step up and do something? Can that running back core really get a 90 to 115 yard performance against the Buffalo Bills defense? Skill guys for the Dolphins. Can someone in that spot get over the 100-yard mark individually? That might be the difference.
I think the biggest thing for me is Carlos Williams and LaShawn McCoy. That front seven, Sue, Wake, we know they got the guys there. But if they can soften that front four up a little bit, that'll give a lot of time and leeway for Tyrod Taylor, which that defensive attack is going to be flying. You need to be able to get a little PA in there. You need the guys to be running, get a couple screen passes, make it work, make them have to challenge the run and not just sit back or be able to just pack the box. That's the biggest thing. Who you got on top?
And two other big things. One, I like that point about Williams and McCoy. Let's not forget the Dolphins have big Ndamukong Suh there to really plug up that 2-3 gap and try to really make things tough. And also Richie Incognito returning to Miami.
How did we forget?
He's going back, playing against his old squad. He really isn't making much about it. And he is an offensive lineman, so it's not as if a quarterback or wide receiver. The whole situation involving Jonathan Martin so many years ago and bullying. I think once the ball's kicked off, we don't really hear much more about Incognito. And he knows if he steps out of line, that's going to be the story on every post-game show going like that. So I'd like the Dolphins here, 21-17. It's going to be an ugly game. A lot of teams in that first half, third quarter. If this game was on red zone, which it will be, you're not going to see a lot of highlights. It's going to be a real slow and grind-out game, but I'll take Joe Philbin and company, his Dolphins, get the win 21-17.
I have the New York Jets, or no, excuse me, the Buffalo Bills, same division, you got me, winning this game, 27-24. I think the same thing. It's going to be close, but I think at the end, the Jets pull out the game.
Nice.
So,
wait, are we not going to pick the Syracuse-LSU game? Because I think Syracuse, 21, LSU 20?
Yeah, I got Syracuse like 34, LSU 17. We're Syracuse all the way.
Let's go, baby.
That's your week 3 NFL.